Good morning, YouTube. Friends, family, subscribers. Johnny Boomboxer here, aka Johnny Boombad. Good to be alive. Very grateful, very thankful, and my mind has changed. My whole perspective has changed. Near-death experience. Can't keep track of dates, but this whole week has kind of been a blur. Just never know what's going to happen. So I think it was last Friday night. I'd been training hard, of course, training, and I was going to take Friday off. I was pretty exhausted, but I went and decided to wash my van because it's been just gross since I haven't washed it in like 6 months. So fine, thought I could do that, and of course I really scrubbed her down and just started sweating. No big deal. Working hard, sweating. Feeling okay. And I get home and start getting kind of tired around 9, and around 10 o'clock I think, well, I'm going to call it a night, and I pop an Advil, 650 milligrams, time released, that I had been taking for about 3 weeks because of my lower back problems. Along with some other orals that I have been taking oral steroids for quite some time, probably since last year, April, on and off. A little bit of Winstrol, a little bit of Anadrol, a little bit of D-ball. Nothing too crazy, you know. 2 D-ball a day, 2 Winstrol a day. Switch it up, 2 Anadrol a day, 2 D-ball a day. 4 Winstrol a day, 2 D-ball a day. You know, just random, but never anything over 8 a day. And always divided throughout the day. A few in the morning, a few in the afternoon, a few in the night. I knew I was pushing it with the orals. You shouldn't stay on orals for that long extended period of time. I was probably walking on a fine line there. And the last thing my gut probably needed was to add in Advil. And Advil can wreak havoc on its stomach just on its own. Word of warning for anybody out there using Advil as an anti-inflammatory, definitely consider other options, because I'm going to tell you about what happened to me. I guess it was about 10 o'clock then. I was going to go to bed, and I laid down and I was texting a friend, and it didn't feel right. Kind of felt nauseous. Stomach started feeling gross, and I said, I gotta let you go. I'll talk to you later. I'm gonna crash out. But it wasn't about crashing out. It was about what's going on here. My head just started pouring sweat profusively. All down my face, all down my body. I was sweating profusively, like drenched, and just every 10 minutes feeling worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. Going on 12 o'clock here. I'm worrying, panic attacks going up, and I feel real oozy. I go to the bathroom and puke up blood, like a whole toilet full of blood. This has never happened to me before. I've never had to call an ambulance. I've never had to go to emergency. I'm just trying to take care of myself, and I'm laying there in bed and I'm staring at the wall, and you know, I'm going in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, trying to focus on my breathing, my panic attacks. The walls are closing in on me, and I gotta go to the bathroom now. I gotta get up, go to the bathroom. So I stand up. I'm dizzy, I'm teeter-tottering all over the place. I get onto the throne, and blood, more blood out my backside, more blood. I'm like, things keep blacking out. I get to my bed, I fall into my bed, and I'm just trying to breathe and focus on the wall. Focus on the wall, focus on the wall. Stay awake, I'm going dizzy. My mind kept going back and forth to I'm gonna die, death is right here, to praying and reaching out to Christ with everything I had. And every time I reached out to Christ, He would allow me another half hour of somewhat comfort in this horror that I was going through. Back and forth, back and forth. I was struggling death. I was fighting not to die. Then stomach started feeling woozy again. I couldn't even make it up to the bathroom. Just gotta plug in my phone here. And just hung my head over the bed. More blood. Now it's going on 4 o'clock. I'm laying there, blood all over the floor, laying in a pile of sweat, pale as a ghost, and start passing out. Finally, I think I passed out a little bit, and I got up at about 6, and I thought I had better call 911. I called 911 and told them what was going on. They transferred me over to the ambulance. I told them what was going on, and the ambulance was on its way. I threw on some clothes. They couldn't get into the apartment because the door was locked, so I had to conjure up enough in me to get out there. And as I got down the stairs, down the elevator to the door, to see them, there's 3 of them standing in a row with all their masks and their uniforms outside. You gotta tell them, you hear this, this is like a nightmare. And I'm not thinking straight. I'm about to die. I'm weaving all over the place, holding onto the door, and they're like, "Come outside." And I'm just wearing a tank top and shorts, and it's like freezing cold. I already feel like death. I was about to just go poof. I was like, that would have been like way too much for me to handle, mentally, physically. I made my way. I said, I can't. I'm gonna pass out. And I shut the door there, stand out there, and I got in the elevator. I went back up, and I passed right back out onto my bed. And Then I had to contemplate, I had to rationalize. I thought, man, okay, I got to try this again. You know, they're gonna come pick me up, and I got to get to the hospital. So I phoned them again. I said, okay, I'm gonna try to make my way down there. I'm not gonna stand outside and talk. I'm woozy. I'm sick. I'm puking up blood. I just want to get into the ambulance. Please just get me to the hospital. No messing around, okay? I'm like, you know, people see you and you're in shape and you look healthy, you know. So even when I'm dying and I'm pale as a ghost, I still look flipping healthy. So when I come to the door, they think, oh, this can't be the guy that's dying. So anyway, I get into the ambulance. Right away, I got Big Brenda, you know, asking me questions, and I'm like, whoa. I'm thinking, whoa, settle down here, man. You know, you're coming at me, and she's asking me questions, and I'm like, and I start to tell her, and then she starts doing something else, and she's not listening. So I stop talking, and then she asks me another question, and she's right, like this, right? I'm like, feeling a little bit fight or flight here, you know. I'm like, hey, I'm trying to answer questions, but you're not letting me talk. I start talking, and you interrupt me, and you go do something else. You're all over the map. And then, you know, so I had to stay calm because I didn't want to scare them. And then the other girl gets right in my face. This is maybe what they got to do. I don't know. I've never been. Gets right in me and says, well, maybe you would prefer to talk to me. I'm like, so I had to zone in on her. I'm like, okay, let's talk to you, because you know, a lot of times they don't know what's going on with you. They don't know if you snorted coke. They don't know what you did. They don't even know if you're lying. Maybe you're just schizophrenic and you're freaking out for no reason. So you get in that ambulance, and you got to prove yourself. Like, you got to flipping, like, they don't believe you, man. You know, so that's where I was at, man. They go, that was like, okay, I got to put myself in these people's shoes, right? They're dealing with all kinds of psychos and drug addicts and everything else. But finally the girl was like, hey, well, you seem like a pretty level-headed guy. I said, well, I am, but I'm practically dying here, you know. And then I prayed to Christ. I said, you know, these people are trying to help me. Let's do the best I can to be you know, cooperative and polite. So as we got to the hospital, I kind of won them over on my side, and my anxiety went down, and just because I wasn't alone, I felt like I was being taken care of. My anxiety went down, and you know, I started talking to them, and my mind kind of went off everything that was going on in my body, and I felt a little bit of comfort. And you know, eventually they got me into the hospital bed and filled me up with fluids with the IV because I was dehydrated, and started doing blood work on me. And it turns out I had a bleeding ulcer, bleeding from all the pills I was taking, mostly the Advil, in my stomach, and it just started bleeding. So they start giving me something else, pumping something else into me to keep stomach acid down and to heal up the bleeding. So and doing tests on me, and then they did a colonoscopy on me and sprayed some stuff in my throat and gave me a pain-killing drug, like an opioid, fentanyl, to knock me out, man. And I was like, after they gave me that shot and the spray in the throat, I was like, I don't remember anything that happened after that. Apparently the colonoscopy, they put a camera down your throat and it goes into your stomach. So they kept taking care of me. Eventually I started getting thirsty and hungry, so they were giving me apple juice, and lo and behold, I once I started coming to, there was a nurse that was taking care of me. Beautiful, beautiful nurse, and it wasn't so much that I was like, ooh, she's gorgeous, but she was taking care of me, and she was my comfort. She was my angel, and they even gave me a swab for COVID with the thing up the nasal, right up into your brain, and she held my hand through the whole thing, and yeah, and then when I started kind of feeling better after a couple nights of being there, she was asking me questions about my life and stuff, and okay, cool. So yeah, I friended her on Facebook, and we're going for a date next Wednesday. So Lord knows I've been praying for a good woman, and throughout all of this, I mean, the Lord was there. He guided me through with grace. He got me through, and I had a lot of good nurses and doctors helping me through, and got home, and of course I had to clean up the mess, and then spent the last couple days trying to run errands and organize, and my anxiety started going up again, panic attacks. So you gotta remember, I still got this D-ball in me, and I'm also was taking some Tren. I'm not gonna get into my steroid use, but D-ball, Anadrol, Tren, they're gonna jack up your adrenaline, jack up your anxiety, and Tren, I'm not even going to get into drugs, but that's what I was taking, amongst a couple other things, and so that's still in my system, and that's one of the main things giving me anxiety. And after going through all that, throwing up the blood, I got home from the hospital, and my anxiety and my panic attacks were going up. I felt like I was having a heart attack, and called my sister. My sister's been great through all this, and she says, well, call the number, the 811 number, and the nurse will answer, and you can tell her what your symptoms are, and she'll tell you what you got to do, or what you should do. So I did that. I talked to the nurse on the phone, and it sounded to her like I was having a heart attack. I felt like I was having a heart attack. So she told me to chew, and I had them on hand, the baby aspirin, 81 milligrams. She told me to chew 4 of those up right there, and then while I was talking to her on the phone, chew them up. And I did that, and called the ambulance. This time I didn't have the internal bleeding. I was just felt like I was having a heart attack, but still, and I called the ambulance again, took me back to the hospital, assessed my blood pressure, ran some tests, checked my heart, gave me an x-ray for my heart, and thank God I didn't have COVID. I didn't have any heart problems. My blood pressure actually, once I got into the hospital, went down, so they didn't see my high blood pressure. My high blood pressure was severely high when I was having the anxiety attack. So that's just it. When you're having an anxiety attack, your blood pressure can go up so high that it can turn into a heart attack. So they gave me some medication just in case I get a panic attack again. It's I can just take one of these and it calms me down. I had to take one when I got back home from the hospital again. I was at Walmart doing some grocery shopping, and I started feeling panicky and got home kind of racy, and I took one. I put it in my apple. I didn't want to take a whole one because it would have just hit me hard. I don't like it when things just hit me real hard. So I put it in a liter of apple juice and I sipped on it. And they got me on iron pills because my iron got so low from losing so much blood. And something for my stomach. It's kind of like a really strong Tums to keep acid down in my stomach. And this is actually, this medication here they have, it'll actually heal herniated esophagus or an ulcer. And this medication here, you can see the name there. I don't know. RABEPRAZOLE. I don't know, you can't see that, but whatever. It's a medication that'll actually heal up ulcers and tears in your stomach and herniated esophagus. It's good medication. It'll actually heal me. It's not just masking the problem. And that's it. Been back at home now for a few days and loading up on food and sleeping. And it's funny, I was actually doing dishes and I was getting a pump from doing dishes because I haven't trained in about a week and a half now, and I think I'm actually probably needed the time off, and now I just feel full. Like my weight at the hospital was 207 and now I'm back up to 216. So yeah, that's going on 21 minutes there. That's my near death experience there. And this is just, you know, what my videos are is always training, being able to train and get your health back and overcome circumstances and continue on with fitness or bodybuilding and not to give up. I mean, if you're not dead, you still have hope to climb back up the ladder and get back up there. There's tons of bodybuilders that have had near-death experiences and severe injuries and had to get knee replacements, hip replacements, and everything else. And that's just it. You're going to run across all kinds of circumstances in bodybuilding, life or circumstances, money circumstances, relationship, you know, and that's part of life. That's part of bodybuilding. If bodybuilding is your life, then that part of your life is part of bodybuilding, and it's being able to manage that and get back on track and climb back up the ladder, you know, and I owe that all to Christ Almighty. I mean, I owe all that healing and tests that He puts me through to renew my faith and hardships. I owe that all to Him. And at the end of the day, as I move forward, I clearly see His works and what He's doing for me and what He's trying to put in my life to set me on the path that He thinks is best for me. And so I trust in Him and that gives me confidence to move forward in grace and not worry about things and keep moving forward. So yeah, thank you for hearing me out, and you know, if any of you've ever gone through something that's near-death experience, maybe you can relate and send me a shout out, and feel free to check out my past training videos and go further back even and check out some of my van life videos, living in a van, training and getting jacked in my minivan. Goes way back, almost now for a year I've had this channel, but still the goal is, always has been for 30 years, to just keep getting ripped, jacked, training heavy. I love training heavy. I love intensity. I'm an intensity addict, and that's my passion. And you know, I'm gonna keep doing it until there's something else that's very passionate that overtakes it. And may not always be a huge, jacked, crazy bodybuilder till I'm 80, but I'll always try to take care of my health and you know, stay lean, because it's not good to carry excess fat. But yeah, everybody, I hope everybody's doing well out there. God bless you all, And thanks for watching. Like I said, if you like the video, please like and subscribe. I got your back, you got mine. Let's do this. Yeah.